Hello, welcome back to Monster Train. We are in a late night episode. Also, gotta break the streak because my internet troubles occurred last night and I had to cut the stream in the middle of a run. And also, on top of that, it's late because I had to cancel the stream tonight because I fell behind on schoolwork. Spent 2 hours debugging a problem that was fixed by simple measures, shall we say. But that's not what you're here for. You're here for Monster Train. It's time to play Little Fade. It's the best day of the week. If I weren't streaming this game and I didn't play her more often, I would look forward to this day very much because Little Fade is probably my favorite champion. She's very fun. And there's no bad combos. Even Awoken is fine. We'll see what we're offered here. This is a nice looking start though, I gotta say. We are against Explosive Sigil Daedalus, Ragefell Chase Seraph. We're blue-green with Explosive Sap and Votivary. I think Little Fade I want to click the Forge first. I've played a lot of Little Icarus lately, so I'm good to play something else. Also, real quick, I'm gonna look into opening my window. Let me see if the ambience is bad. It's not that bad, and I'm a little warm. I'm gonna open the window. I want to play Firelight, but I just... the thing is so weird to play Firelight with Entombed Explosive. I'm like almost certain I could win with Little Icarus here. Let's just take Firelight though. Let's take something fresh. It got buffed too. Let's do it. Encased Ember is probably going to be less useful because we're going to be reforming Little Fade a lot instead of the tombs. I'll just take Vapor Funnel because it's great. Firelight's weird, and then it becomes strong. It's very similar to how we would play... I'm going to play slow in the early game here and not take trials. Very similar to how we would play Primordium with Aggressive Edible. We're going to look for a unit, give it multi-strike, and then have Little Fade just super power it. Yeah. And that's it. That's the whole plan. I am looking like I'm gonna take a little bit of damage here. Not surprising. The best unit for us to find is going to be... what's his name? That's not great. Oh, that is unfortunate. I will take 0 from this though. So what we're gonna do, I guess, is just stacks a bunch of regen up here. Probably the best unit to find, though, will be Wickless Baron. Nice. Explosive is the best reform there. We're gonna just kill him through Explosive, I believe. Yeah, we're gonna look for Wickless Baron. I feel like he's the best one. Lady of the Reformed wouldn't be that bad either. Explosive? Explosive? Nice. Okay. Cool. Thanks, Explosive. Very cool. What was otherwise kind of scary is fixed. Firelight definitely seems to have a little trouble in that first combat, though. Draft is a good unit for Firelight as well. The end. I will pick Draft. Razor Sharp Edge Restoration. Razor Sharp Edge is nice because we can kill Fade with it. I'm gonna not take it. From this position, we're going to take very little. And I'm going to upgrade that Draft. And then I'm going to... go right here. We actually want Remnant Banners for once. Large Stone will go to the draft, probably. Paraffin Enforcer. Hey, this is the run for Paraffin Enforcer. But Wickless Tycoon is so much money to miss out on. Oof, this is a tough one. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not a tough one. I take Wickless Tycoon. Even in a run designed for Paraffin Enforcer, I'd rather have Tycoon because he's worth so much money. Gonna play Large Stone Draft plus Wickless Tycoon as our floor, it looks like. Maybe we even just make a few extra drafts, I don't know. But I'm gonna try something like this. And we can pivot off of Wickless Tycoon if it isn't working. Haste and High Priest. Probably should respect. But then again... do I need to? Yeah, I should respect it. I'm gonna take it easy in the early game. We don't want to lose. Name a more iconic occurrence than this one. Haste combat plus space loss top 4. You can't. I'm gonna play it like this. Little Fade is going to cause... She's gonna die a lot, basically. And we're going to reform her a lot. Is the idea. And I want the space to be able to do both of these things regularly. Missed the Collector, which is unfortunate. I actually should have put this guy mid-floor. There's no way that he would catch the Collector there. It was not possible. 2 burnout. Time is running low. Let's put the explosive right here. And I'll stack more regen. Fine. We don't... Yeah, we just play one primitive mold and win the game, right? It goes from kinda scary to... if Little Fade didn't die here, it could be bad. But it's just fine. Alright. Good. Firelight is the one that is, like, the scariest in the early game. And then once we get into the later game and get to shape our deck a little more, it becomes a lot less scary. Draft number 2 versus Molded is the big question here. It's probably Molded. Just more ways to reform Fade. Holdover Molded, aka Moldover, is money. I'm gonna take Vine Grasp here. Gives me a way to hurt Little Fade, which is useful. We're gonna look for most likely Subsuming Blade as our big find here. Card to kill Little Fade with. I don't have the money to buy anything. I'm still gonna go right. Double stack, no big deal. Keep seeing Wilting Sapwood lately. They just keep showing me Wilting Sapwood. I don't want Wilting Sapwood though. Awoken, Stygian, and Umbra. I don't really like taking anything here. I'll take the 10 gold, I guess. I don't want to add more cards to this though, because the big thing is it's precarious, is how I would describe this run. Until we get more consistent ways to bring back Little Fade and have her die every round, which is hard in the early game because the enemies do not put out a lot of damage. Until we get to that point, it's easy to just have our floor burn out, especially without any burnout extension built in. So it's a little bit scary. Like just dropping her and having her die is probably wrong. Also definitely wrong to play Train Stewards. And this is explosive, I don't have to worry about Ace. So we're gonna do this. Order, I missed 5 gold, etc, etc. Don't play Train Steward because when it dies it's bad. Okay, we hit the draft. It's a start. And now, like, Daedalus's bombs might be the big turning point here. Being able to have, like, if he places a bomb mid-floor and kills Little Fade, that's very good for us next turn. Because as it sits, this 4 does 4 damage, which is not enough. This is excellent. What did I say? Now Little Fade dies, we get even more. But not quite enough, interestingly enough. I would prefer to not take this 1 damage. We got 3 primitive molds coming up. I'm also going to take 3 from this at this rate. Would have been good to have a Train Steward up here, as it turns out. That's okay, though. We're close to having enough to kill Daedalus right now. It's close. It's close. And then we just pull back these 2. And 12. Excellent. She'll die, right? Yeah. I think with that, it seals the deal. I think we should not have any fear of death now. Votivary behind. Coming up. Train Steward. Okay. I'm gonna press enter. I'm gonna leave that explosive out of the reform pool. Hard to say which one's better there. I think that's better though. Excellent. Fade comes back. She'll die. She'll tank 2 rounds from Daedalus and die. We'll get our burnout extended. Everything works out. Excellent work. I don't know if it could have gone much better, to be honest with you. Yeah, perfect. I was a little worried that we were gonna lose it, I was a little worried Daedalus was going to fire and we were going to die, but as it turns out, a draft doing 100 damage per round is pretty good. Who knew? Alright, cool. We got through the hardest part of playing Firelight, which is Mr. Daedalus. Not gonna play Bounty Stalker here. We have our plan. We have our plan. I don't need Bounty Stalker. Wickless Baron is the best here. Like, he's really good with Fade, but I do like the money that I'm getting from Tycoon, and I honestly don't think it matters. I think that Wickless Baron is good for getting through that early game, but we're through the early game. We can just move on. And you're not going to be surprised. It's draw. You can make a case for taking space so we can load up the floor a little more. However, I don't think I need to. Right or left? We fish. We want to look hard for multi-strike. Yeah, we want to look hard for multi-strike. Even though I won't get many more removals out of this, this is just too important. Multi-strike on Tycoon is huge. I don't think I need to give him anything more. In terms of survivability, we can just give him offense. Fade tanks and just buffs him up. Well, let's take a look real quick, I guess. I need to see what her next level of stats are. Yeah, plus 15, plus 5. Okay. Just took a second there to think about Eternal Flame. Every time I see Eternal Flame, I go, that could be cool to trigger the effect every round. And then I remember, oh yeah, but the energy costs. You can't really spec in one Eternal Flame. It's not very viable. Our backline plan on this run, by the way, can just be Vapor Funnel. I'm gonna roll this. Yeah. I'll give the draft quick. No, you actually don't want the draft to have quick here. If the draft gets quick, he might steal kill, or he might stop Fade from dying, and that's important. And since I kept the Tycoon in here, and also because I skipped removals, we're going to pay 150 to pull 2 restores. Yeah, okay. Good. Strong. I believe from this position, we just power removals and win the game. I think you remove everything that isn't reforming and remove the units. And we just play and kill Little Fade hundreds of times. Is the idea. Now I am going to unfortunately have to deal with some curses. Not what I like to see. And we will not be playing Train Stewards. As I'm sure you're aware. Let's see, so we came into this combat at 20 gold. Let's see what we get now. I'm gonna miss every collector, huh? That's fine. Cannot kill the Absolver. The only thing that's really problematic is the way that I can't... I don't have draw priority on the draft, right? That's where your big stopper is gonna be. You just have to roll into it. Oh, and I didn't hit a reform. Interesting. I play the draft and just reform it, right? Because next turn we should see 2. We might not see 2. I think I still play the draft. Well, no, if this floor goes on, it doesn't matter. Yeah, this floor going on doesn't really matter. But the Tycoon's gonna burn out. So this is an interesting conundrum. Play that for sure. I can stop this curse, but then I add 1 more to the pool. So the problem here is I draw 4 of 8 because of the 2 curses, and then I have to primitive mold both of those back. It's better to not do this because if I draw 5 of 8 outside of an unbelievable circumstance here, which to be fair can happen, but shouldn't happen. Outside of the unbelievable circumstance, it should be fine to just make sure that Tycoon doesn't burn out. I guess the other thing to take into consideration there is I missed 5 gold, but no. Better to not have this Tycoon's life be a 50-50. Oh wait, she doesn't die. That sucks. Okay. And that's tough. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, it's fine because he keeps the stats from Little Fade enhancing him. He just comes back with the burnout one, which we deal with. You do 110, right? So this is fine. Oh wait, no, it's not fine. My bad. I was thinking Fade got to attack there for some reason. This combat is your perfect look at... Like, this combat kind of farmed me. This combat does really well into my build, because curses are going to crush me here. Extremely so. It's extremely problematic how much these curses are. Like, the curses might just kill me here, to be honest. Is it enough? Let's find out. No, because she doesn't die in time, right? Yeah. Be an interesting loss. I just can't defeat these curses, right? Let's see. He's gonna come back at 2. Fade's at 4. I think we might just barely squeeze out of this one here. Yeah. Ooh, man. I should save this 3 health instead of the 5 gold. So, curse combat, something I did not consider being particularly difficult. However, the draw inconsistency is killer. It is killer. Because she only applies burnout too, right? We have no, like, safety cushion. If I draw poorly, everything dies. Thankfully, we had a good draw at the end to save us from a true disaster. Do I want to take Wicked Blaze here? More cards that say Reform are good. The end. Would really like to see Subsuming Blade on this run. That's your big hit. We don't want to take Pyrogrow. Bad draws are... Like, there's not going to be many turns where we're okay with having a worse turn, is the reasoning. We go left, we find Holdover Molded, and we hope for the best here. A Permafrost is also extremely fine. I'm gonna Permafrost Wicked Blaze, for sure. It's not really super worth to take this magic power and consume. I'm just gonna roll. Double stack. Worthless. Just really begging the game to throw me a holdover here. A ×5 would be nice as well. I'll trade health for a relic here. Banners? Sure. That's good. But we are dancing on the razor's edge, to speak. So to speak, I suppose. Elf boss. Ugh. We're gonna take it easy here on the trial. Heaven Seal is not worth the risk. I think that there's a lot of ways that this goes very wrong. Ah, the draft draw. So when you draw draft like this, you just play bottom 4. And I think... Hang on, who's better to be in front? Draft's better to be behind because Tycoon can just clean up frontliners. The front line of backline, if you will. And we're gonna take a little bit here. What are we taking? We take 6, or, oh, that's right, this guy's the 10. Okay. It's funny because as we get further along in the run, yeah, we take a little for that as well. However, as we get further along in the run, Fade is easier to have die, so it becomes less and less scary as time goes on. Okay, he's good now. I'm just gonna not play anything. So like on this turn, it's not always guaranteed to kill Fade. Now first I have to get her. Hoping to not have to play her off a Wicked Blaze this round. Guess I don't have to, but it's still probably right too. We want to get the burnout stacking. Don't forget as well, it's Stealth Boss, so she is going to run us down. She's just gonna sit there and watch everyone burn out probably. But if we just keep bringing back little Fade like this, it's probably fine. The other cool thing is that if 1 or 2 backline enemies sneak by, it doesn't matter because of Vapor Funnel. And yeah, we're getting little Fade killed every round, which is a good start. Buy some more regen. Bring back little Fade. And then we shouldn't kill this here. No. What a shame. Because of the burnout. Interesting, interesting. I mean, we just reform as much of this floor as we can. I knew that we would have this problem, but by playing bottom 4 we kind of circumvent it. Or not. I mean, I just have to draw better. I can't put explosives in the pool. I have to draw better. I have to draw late. I have to draw 2 here. That's all. We drew all 3. Even better. And it stops being scary here soon, I hope. And Fade dies perfectly. Okay. All is well. Barely. Barely. Another one where we're just skating by. This is the reason that I don't like playing Firelight. A lot of my Firelight runs end up with me just barely skating by these combats, right? It's scary. Oh, Intent on Death is just a win, right? Yeah, it's an extinguish effect. Alright, never mind. We win the game now. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. We do not want Wildwood Tome, as discussed earlier. Quick is bad. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna go right. We want to remove... yeah. Gonna go right and remove. Gonna go left here. And then gonna go left here. Absolutely. Okay. The path to victory is pretty clear from here. Trade Stewards are just completely dead because of the random reforms. If we don't die to Fel, I would say our odds of winning this are nearing 100%. Not quite 100%, but nearing. I'm gonna not duplicate Intent on Death because spending 2 gold on it is awkward. I want to duplicate Wicked Blaze so that if we have to move up a floor, I have 2 Wicked Blazes guaranteed in theory. As this deck gets larger, like we're not reducing cards, but we're just swapping out cards that are unplayable with cards that reform. Okay. This is a little awkward. I'm gonna end up taking it from this Clipped Guardian, right? I play bottom floor here, but if I play mid floor, it's worse. Or is it? Is there something sneaky, snazzy I can do here? Because playing top 4 is bad, because playing top 4 means that I don't get a cushion against the boss, essentially. I think that we don't greed, we just take it. We take it and we like it here. We're gonna take what? A lot. Maybe I can lessen it with Vine Grasp and an explosive. But we are gonna take it here. It is the expected outcome. Hey Fel, please don't kill my floor. Thank you. On the bright side, I guess Rage Fel makes it a lot easier to kill these enemies. Or rather, not kill these enemies, but kill Little Fade. You gain 15, so you'll be doing 100. I can give you 1 restore. And you'll still get your kill. Okay. Fine. I would really like to draw my draft, please. I'm going to lessen the impact of this floor's damage. Oh, I also have to play the Wicked Blaze here, huh? And she will die. Drawing draft would be nice. It'd be a cool experience. Okay. We take last now. Hey, there's draft. Nice. Good experience. Imagine how mad I would be if I didn't have Vapor Funnel. Ooh, buddy. I would be unhappy. Primitive Mold? Hello? I've been having this bug where cards get stuck like that. It's very odd. Now with Intent on Death, I think she does also buff herself, which is weird. But, you know. 5 burnout is fine. Keep drawing cards. Now we're more or less set, I think. Really glad I picked Vapor Funnel though, let me tell you something. Really, really happy with my decision to add Vapor Funnel into this run. Vapor Funnel, excellent work. Very, very happy with your performance in this quarter. Okay. I'm noticing it just now. Like, this is probably something that if you've been watching for a while, you've noticed on and off, or perhaps just noticed quite a bit. I'm noticing right now that I hold down right click a lot, which is weird to me because my whole idea was that I didn't want to hold down right click because it's harder to watch, right? But also, at this point, I've just, it's just second nature, right? And like the spawn-ins, I feel like this stuff is what I try to hold down on, but I think I just do it all the time, which is kind of funny. I think it's easier to watch this game at 3 speed though. What are we at? 4, 5, 3. Oh yeah, she's just dead. It's like this is the idea though. Like we can chunk like 1600 out, and then we can play again mid floor if we so desire. Cool. Okay. Fine, fine. Turns out that is a lot of damage when you're stacking like that. This is the run for Wax and Spike. However, the only thing stopping us on this run is inconsistency. Taking Wax and Spike adds inconsistency because the only way we lose is by having shit burnout that we don't want to have burnout, right? So this is a skip. For sure, this is just a skip. We have a lot of different lines to land us on a victory here. What I'm going to do here is actually take space because being able to play on all 3 floors is going to be valuable. Being able to elevator each floor is really valuable to me. It's more valuable than draw. It shouldn't be needed, but having the flexibility is going to be nice. And over here, we just go ahead and pull out 2 more train stewards. What do you got for me? 2 -1s and a holdover are the ideal. Or I guess just 1 holdover also wins us the game, right? I may as well, I have plenty of money. Holdover? No holdover. Not surprising, to be honest. I'm gonna just use this. And then I'm gonna duplicate it. And I'm gonna hold over onto molded, is the idea now. The explosives still have their use, I think. It's not too bad to have like having 6 units in the pool to reform from is too many. Having 3 is okay. The 3 being explosive, explosive, and fade. But we really just buy removals. Yeah, there's nothing else that's super important here. We just get this deck to the consistency of being able to kill and reform Little Fade as fast as possible, as well as hitting the draft quickly. We should win. I'm gonna get rid of an explosive, actually. After praising it, I'm going to send it away. We can be aggressive with our money, too. We have Tycoon. Ah, pivot to Little Icarus sounds good here. Plus 30, plus 5. Holy moly. Purifier is the only thing I don't want to see here. Shade Wings can be scary, I suppose. Not a good combat for Heaven's Seal. Well, let's give it a moment of thinking. The problem is that the early rounds, like the first heavies, are just going to stomp me. I'm going to take way too much from them, especially since we have Vapor Funnel. It does, what, 35? They have 190. So real quick, I should actually calculate how much damage a full health heavy going up to me does with Vapor Funnel, because I've never actually done this calculation. What do you do to me? It's a 10 190. It's 190 divided by 35, which is going to be 6 times. So it's the same, actually. It's 50. Okay, is it 50? 35, 70, 105, 140, 175. I think it's 60, actually. Yeah, it's 60, isn't it? 175? 210? I think it's 6. We're going to play mid-floor. Here. I can't... I need the draft in play. I need the draft in play. Yeah. Maybe I should just duplicate this guy instead of having the draft, honestly. Yeah, it's not really worth it to have this draft, is it? I don't think so. Wow, wait, I just lose? How weird. Oh, wow, how weird. They just die. Wow, that's strange. Okay. I may as well... Hang on, why do you take 170? Okay. I mean, it should be fine, because we just reform them back. But I think that it's going to be better to swap out Tycoon. Remember when I said I didn't need survivability on him, though? Turns out that was wrong. I didn't take the trial, though, so not getting this money would be sad. Am I willing to take damage for it? Let's see. I'm gonna take... add 85 to this guy's health, right? So he's gonna be minus 85, which will put him at 105. which is 2 hits. Yeah, 2 hits. I'll take 20. I'll take 20 for 100 gold here. It's a worthy trade. Are you a wildwood sap? Okay. And then I just have to pull both of those back. Should have done that in the other order. It's fine. I guess I need to start putting Tycoon behind the draft, because the draft has more health. Still fine. I don't mind taking this damage here. And from this position, we're good now. I believe. I believe from this position, we just bring back Little Fade every turn. And she should be good enough. This is a... like, this combat looks bad, but also this is a combat that pumps out way more damage than we need to expect. Like, these guys do so much. I'm gonna go ahead and do this, actually, and just pick one of these off to make the combat a little smoother. Yeah, that's smart. Sorry, I'm trying to not hold right click, but it's also just habit at this point. I'm trying, and you probably don't even care, but I care, and that's all that matters. I said I would not hold down right click, and then I hold down right click like some sort of liar. I don't like lying. That's good. It's easier to watch as well, right? I don't know. I could use a little... It's weird, I guess from the YouTube standpoint it is better to have my videos have a lower runtime, but also I don't really care about that. Yeah, wow. 235 times 2, huh? That seems good. With 13 burnout, 10 burnout, yeah, now you can see we're putting up the numbers now. And because we're able to reform Little Fade every turn, she's getting massive. It's doomed for the enemies at this point. Ah, never mind. It's doomed for me? Oh, because the Shadewing's in the back. Interesting. I'm just going to drop this explosive. And then Intent on Death. And that should be good. Ah, good. The Shadewings did really put forth a reasonable threat, though. Oh. Okay. Subsuming Blade. I said I wanted one of these. Is it too late? It's a little too late, I think. Not bad, though. I'll take it. Skip that. Gonna just duplicate Intent on Death, which is actually gonna make the Subsuming Blade pickup kind of worthless, as I think about it now. Let's check our shops first. Jackstrip's Pyre, while Precious Plating. These are nice, but probably shouldn't need them. Magic Shop. Still no holdover, but we've actually reached the point where holdover doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, we don't care about holdover anymore. Sure. If I can find it a +10, that's good. I'll give this a +20 consume. And then we look for a +10. Cool. I guess I could have removed Consume the Vine Grasp for a spell to kill Fade. Yeah, that would have been good, I guess. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's good, but... you know. I'm gonna roll this, because if we see the Burnout +3 relic, it's just GG. Mold Braces is nice. And then we duplicate Intent on Death. I will say, Little Fade in comparison to Spike's Fade, Little Icarus. This one, we had a lot of close calls. I think that in hindsight, I would probably not, with a multi-strike Tycoon like I have, I would not go with the draft, and instead I would just go... oh wow. I'll play bottom 4, I suppose, off of this start. Yeah, that seems good. Instead of going the draft, though, I would just go Wickless Tycoon. I wouldn't give him Large Stone, but I would stay on the Wickless Tycoon plan. And I would just, you know, I'd build around him, more or less. Hey, stop dying. I guess I can throw Votivary in the mix. She'll just die, but she'll also get the stats. No, she won't get the stats, never mind. But she'll take 15 off of this guy. Worth. But you can see the draft is just missing a lot of value because he's not here. The upside is he starts with the multi-strike, but the downside is if you find multi-strike, you just pivot off. Or not the downside, if you find multi-strike, you just move away from him. I think that there's no reason to stay on draft when you find multi-strike like I did. You can just move on. It's better to have something else, it seems like to me. Once again, though, like, Vapor Funnel, oh, legendary. Vapor Funnel, doing excellent work. Excellent work from Vapor Funnel here, I gotta say. Just looking at this to see if I can lower this guy's health. It looks like I cannot. No, wait, I could if I played the explosive, right? Because it'll... Oh, I can't play the explosive, right? I don't have the space. That makes sense. It's fine. We have the health to take it, right? And don't get me wrong, if we didn't have... Basically, if I didn't have Vapor Funnel, we would have played this entire run differently. We wouldn't just lose if I didn't get the Vapor Funnel, right? You can make a mistake in thinking that for sure. You can pivot this run into something else that wins with the Vapor Funnel, or without the Vapor Funnel rather. Sorry, it's late. Forming coherent sentences is hard. Minus 29. Get her lower. I miss my next turn because she doesn't die, which is unfortunate. But also, you know, the floor is scaled. We have it. Most of my important cards are also free. I mean, the only important card at this point is Intent on Death. It's free. Be nice, I guess, to play Restore and cap this guy off, but the big crazy part about Little Fade is the numbers she lets you see on a floor, right? 260 times 2 on a Wickless Tycoon that starts at 20 times 2 is pretty good. Like, I think 260 times 2 is a pretty good number. I don't know about you. Not a great number if he's dead, though. But Little Fade just pops in and takes it. And she even dies, which is just excellent. Don't even need these Wicked Blazes at this point, but what they did was important. And what they still do. They do actually still do something. In case something goes horribly wrong and our floor gets wiped, we get to reset really quickly with those guaranteed. But mostly at this point, they are no longer required. Once again, it's a shame. I would have loved to have played this Restore here. Oh well. Yeah. 210.56. I can't believe they buffed this version of Little Fade. But then again, I guess maybe without the buffs, we might have just fallen apart on floor 4 or 5. This Little Fade requires you to have a well-defined plan, I guess, is how I want to put it. How do I want to put it? You have to get your deck to consistency, right? Being able to reform the biggest thing about this Little Fade, if you're struggling with Firelight and you're not sure what you're doing wrong, the biggest thing about this one is you need to be able to reform her every turn. Even if you don't reform her every turn, you need the option to be there to reform her every turn. It doesn't matter if you actually make use of it. Like, if she lives, that's a good problem. That means that you've played her 5 or 6 times probably. All you really need to do with Firelight is be able to reform her every time. Usually you get through the mid-game on a holdover molded, but we didn't see it. And we had to use those permafrost to even out the awkward turns. And yeah, I think from this one, if you get multi-strike, you just switch off of draft so you don't have to go, I'm just losing so much value. Right? You don't lose that scaling if he's on the bottom of the deck. Or alternatively, what you could also do there, if you were so inclined, is you could just, instead of going large stone draft, you could go draft. You just give him stat ups at the shops, and then you just fill the deck with drafts that you duplicate. And you just plan like turn 2 or 4, 2 or 3. It's still awkward though, because they have no draw priority. It's another build that, like, draft is just a unit that I don't like using because of that draw priority problem. It's another one of those situations where you go, yeah, I wish I could just like assign a unit draw priority, right? Be a nice change to the game's mechanics, I think. Be something interesting anyway. Alright. That does it. We did it. Always look forward to Little Fade. Only 10 more days until I get to have another Little Fade episode. Oh boy. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave me a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.